You know what's pretty funny is that Rajon Rondo, that is how his name is pronounced.
Rajon.
He told a co-worker of mine, it's like rye bread, Rajon, don't say Rajon, it's Rajon.
Not so like Dijon mustard, right?
That still doesn't make sense.
Is it Dijon mustard?
So Boston.com put this out. Mustard. Robert Littal, by the way.
You don't want to talk about mustard?
6 stories about the 2008 Celtics unearthed by NBC Sports Boston's new documentary. The one that stood out the most and went viral is a story told by the Red Mamba, Brian Scalabrine. After retirement, he became an assistant for the Warriors. When he returned to the Garden for a regular season game, Scal said head coach Mark Jackson shouted out a call, 42 cross for his team. But the play was a bluff. The Warriors didn't have a 42 cross in their playbook, and Rondo knew. And here's what he said. Rondo looked at Mark and then he looked in the air and said, 42 cross, 42 cross. And then he looked back at Mark and said, you don't have a 42 cross. I was like, how the hell did he just know that? Somehow, some way, he knew that. And they're not a rival. It wasn't a playoff series. It was an insignificant game during the middle of the week. He was the smartest player I've ever played with, and it's not even close. 2 things. The first is, go back for just a moment. We have a player admitting that there are games in the middle of the season that are insignificant.
I think that's true.
That's what stood out to me. Yeah. Like, the story's amazing, don't get me wrong. But like, this is an insignificant game during the middle of the season. Okay, let's slim down the games. You know what was one of my favorite? A few years ago, when we had the lockout, and then teams came back and it was like 60-some games. I was like, damn, this is actually pretty cool.
It's a long season.
You get on a 4-game losing streak, you're effed.
Yeah, it's a long season.
On top of that, my own, and then I want to hear your opinion on this. I have thought Rondo has been one of the smartest players because when I went to a few games that he was playing for the Bulls, and then just hearing, if you really tune in, he's talking constantly.
So he knows what's going on.
He always knows what's going on. Plus, he's amazing at Connect 4. Your thoughts?
My first thought was that Mark Jackson didn't have any plays. That's probably why he's not the coach of the Warriors right now. You're calling out plays that don't exist in the first place. And if you call it out, that's very good. I like that. If you call it out plays that don't exist, and the players on the other team know that they don't exist, I think that says a lot about you as a coach. Like Rondo.
So you're diminishing Rondo.
Yes.
You're diminishing this story altogether, and you're hating on Mark Jackson.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying that Rondo knew that Mark Jackson wasn't capable of having actual plays. Here's the thing, Scalabrine says, how the hell did he know that? I tell you how he knew that. Okay. He knew that because Mark Jackson only had like 4 plays. So when he yelled out 42 cross, it took him a second. He said, you know something, I know. I've been studying Mark Jackson all year. He has 4 plays. He didn't just put into play today. He didn't put in no special play today. I know this. You don't got no 42 cross.
And you're just crapping on the story.
Right. It's kind of like, it's like if you know somebody dresses a certain way, right? You know, they wear the same thing all the time. Then they come into the office with a floral shirt on, right? You can look at them and say, you know something, you didn't buy that shirt. Your girl bought that shirt. You would never buy that shirt on your grandma bought that shirt. That was not a shirt that you purchased on your own by yourself. And you can be totally confident about that because you know that they've never worn a floral shirt before. Never. So that is what I think of the story.
Thoughts, comments section below. Subscribe to 2IT Sports.
That was good, wasn't it? You liked that, didn't you?